Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, all honor, and all glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Makakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops of Great Millstone. Peace, blessings, and salutations to the hopeful elect. This is your brother Nawak coming at you with another lesson. Lord's will, it will be edifying to the Lord's elect. This video comes to me from a video clip that's been going around from a guy. His name is Chief Ephraim. And basically, from what he's saying in his $1 million question, the bottom line is he simply just doesn't believe that the micro C-hip is the MOTB. As a matter of fact, I want to entitle this lesson, Chief Ephraim, it is the micro C-hip. And that's exactly what it is. Now, this prophecy is contained in the book of Revelation, chapter 13. And it's a very, very serious, most important prophecy that we're waiting on. Now, here it is. You got wars going on over there in the Middle East with the small hatters attacking Iran attacking the small hatters over there. And you got Russia and Ukraine. So these wars, these rumors of wars, these things are happening as we speak. But World War III, which is also prophecy, will not come to pass until the MOTB comes out and becomes implement and becomes mandatory, which that's the prophecy. Now, this guy, Chief Ephraim, he has a question. And like I said, his timing, the timing is, like I said, we looking for the MOTB to come out any day now because of what's going on with the wars in the world. Because those wars are getting hot. See? And we know that it's going to continue to move forward all the way into World War III. But there are certain prophecies like the MOTB that must take place before World War III breaks out. So like I said, this guy has this $1 million question now, which I'm going to get ready. I'm going to play it. And then we can get into some other videos and some scriptures. Let's hear what he has to say.
With everything going on in the earth, who's going to implement the mark of the beast? What nation is going to implement the mark of the beast? Because if you say it's all white people, you got to be specific. Because obviously, Russia is not doing what America is doing. China is not doing what America is doing. Iran is definitely not doing what America is doing. What nations or what white nation is going to implement the mark of the beast? Because if you say it's America, then obviously it ain't going to be the whole world. So this is where the doctrine kind of falls very short. It takes a deep dive very short. If the mark of the beast is going to be a worldwide thing and you can't eat, right, and drink and buy and sell, right, all of this stuff with a physical chip, the $1 million question is, who's going to implement it? And I'm going to leave y'all with that, right? Because obviously the nations ain't getting along. And whatever NATO's doing, BRICS ain't with it. And whatever BRICS is doing, NATO ain't with it. So who's going to implement it? This is why I don't subscribe, and neither do the servants subscribe to the mark of the beast being a microchip.
So you've seen it. So he doesn't subscribe that the mark of the beast is the micro C-hip, which from our apostles and elders on down a Great Millstone, we've been teaching this. And our elder apostle Tahar, he's been teaching this for over 40 years, all the way down to the other apostles and elders and other brothers and like-minded men teaching all over the world. Now, like I said, this prophecy is most important. This is a prophecy you can't get wrong. You can't be guessing when this thing comes out. As a matter of fact, when it does come out, like I always say, if you're guessing, you're probably going to take it. See, and if you take the thing, the Lord, he's going to destroy you himself. And that's why we continuously bring out this prophecy of the MOTB constantly, because it's getting ready to happen. And like I said, this guy pops up on the radar, but it's getting ready to come out any day now, because these devils know that they have but a short time and they're moving quick. The Lord has them moving quick. Everything is moving fast this year, faster than it ever was, that it ever has. And we seeing these things play out, and we looking any day. The MOTB is getting ready to come out, and this guy pops up on the screen with the $1 million question. Basically, what he's saying is he doesn't believe. See, he doesn't believe that the MOTB is a micro C-hip, which, like I said, from my apostles and elders on down, it's been proven over and over and over. And they setting it up to crash the system. We've been saying this over and over and over. They crashing the dollar. They're going to get rid of this system, and they're going to set up this digital system. And the evidence is all around us. See, DJ Trump, he's talking about using Bitcoins. It's all digital. Everything is going digital. They're really deep into this AI stuff. Everything is going digital. And that device, that RFID C-hip, that device they want to put in your hand or in your forehead in order for you to buy or sell, which is going to be linked to that digital system. Everything is matching up. Everything makes sense. But this guy is out here trying to throw doubt. See, and a lot of people, if they following this dude, they're going to end up being destroyed. See? But hey, he's set up. He's set up to get the ones that the Lord don't want. Because the elect of Israel, hey, you won't be able to fool the elect. If it were possible, you could fool the elect, but it's not possible. We're not going for it. See, the Lord has set it up. If you have the hope for elect, you're going to hear it and you're going to know it. You're not going to be doing all of this back and forth with these different false prophets talking about it's sin, it's an embargo, it's sleeping with white women. See, it's a picture of Caesar Borgia, it's a picture of sweet Jesus. All of these false interpretations of what the MOTB is going to get a lot of people destroyed. That's just the bottom line. That's how serious this thing is. See, we don't want to be on the side to where we were one of the ones that was teaching it wrong. Most definitely, the Lord will destroy us and anybody else that's teaching false doctrines and anybody else who's believing in these false doctrines is going to be destroyed. So it's very, very critical, especially now. It's close. It's really, really close to coming out. You really, really must understand what the MOTB is and that it is the micro C-hip. And it has to be no doubt in your mind. And that's why we got to go after these guys when they come out with these false doctrines or they come out with this doubt or basically try to cut the truth, which you cannot cut the truth. The truth is the truth. See? And the ones, like I say, set up to believe, they're going to believe it. Now, from there, I want to get this next video clip. And basically, this is showing the RFID micro C-hip. Basically, this guy right here on the screen in his suit, he has it in his hand. See? That small grain of rice size digital C-hip. It's in his hand. And you see the payment terminal. And that's the guy that works there with the glasses behind the counter. Now, when you see this video, you're going to see how he's going to be able to buy it. See? You're going to see how this thing it links right up with the prophecy. So we're going to see it in action. So let me play it. Boom. He just paid for it. See? That RFID technology of that C-hip is in his hand, and it links right up with these terminals. Just like that NFC chip, that near field communication chip that's inside your phone, that's how you're able to use your phone tap to pay. Just like the technology that's in the cars. But see, now this devil is taking it to the next level to where he wants to get everybody C-hipped. And ultimately, this is the prophecy of the Lord. This is the Lord's RFID C-hip. See? This is a test that's going to go across the whole world. And that's another thing I want to get into. Is he talking about how, he can't see basically how all of these different countries are going to agree on this thing and how all of these things are going to happen. And I want to get into that, how they all going to be implementing it. See? This guy is small-minded, and he basically doesn't see the big picture. Let me continue. Boom. You can use it to open doors. The technology is here.
People stop being fucking stupid, man. Right. When they crash this economy, man, this is going to be the new currency, man. Right. You're going to have to put your right hand and your forehead out to go ahead and buy and sell in this economy, man. All right? Are you going to sell your soul to Satan, or are you going to get your head fucking chopped off, man? Right. That's the choices that's coming in these days, man. Right. You can laugh and scoff, talk all the shit you want in your mind, but the Lord going to judge your ass, man. Right. All right? This is a serious matter, man. Right. There ain't no more time to be playing around with you people, man. Right.
Okay. I agree 1,000%. This technology is here, as you can see, and it's getting ready to come out and become made mandatory. And like we keep saying, this is deadly serious. This is deadly serious. See, it's going to come out. When this thing comes out, hey, a lot of people, they're going to be wanting to put in prison over this thing. They're going to be wanting to take out, basically. Because I'm going to get into that, how there's certain of us that's going to have to refuse this thing, even unto being deleted, taken out. But see, that's ultimately prophecy. See, if you're set to do that, the Lord going to put the spirit on you. You're going to refuse to take the RFID C-hip no matter what, if you're of the elect. And this guy, like I said, he comes out of nowhere, basically striving to cause confusion. Right when the wars and the rumors of wars has been getting hotter. See? It's like this guy, they just rolled him out there. But hey, we're going to continue to come against these false doctrines and false teachings, specifically on the MOTB. This is no joke. Now from there, I want to get this next video clip. This video clip shows how the reporters, the insiders, they've been talking about this crash in the system. You'll see. Let me roll this video.
Cashless society.
Cashless society.
Cashless society. Cashless society.
Cashless society.
Cashless society.
If we go to that future, digital cash, we're at a crossroads because we have to choose between two possibilities. One is digital cash that's run by corporations that act not only as intermediaries in all of our payments, but also act as deputized members of law enforcement for every government and or intelligence agency and or dictator who co-opts them to their means. That type of finance takes the worst of surveillance capitalism and the worst of surveillance states, merges them together in this fascist dystopia where every transaction you ever made tells something about your habits, your politics, your associations, your movement, your physical location. On the one hand, all of this data gets collected and shared among all of the intelligence agencies and corporations, or leaked. And on the other hand, if the people in power choose to, they can decide to debank you overnight. They turn off the switch. Now imagine what happens if your bank account is shut down and cash doesn't exist. Well, you can't eat. You can't buy food. Done.
They already told us to prepare for this all-digital future. We've been reporting it here on the show. In 2019, the CEO of Bank of America, not a small bank, said that it costs them billions of dollars to have to deal with cash. They hate cash. They told us as way back in late 2019. They don't want cash. They want an all-digital future. Here's the CEO.
So cash is gone. Cash is gone. See? And you get guys out here teaching these false doctrines. And we real close. This is no time to be playing around with these teachings, specifically these prophecies. This thing is deadly serious. The cash, the system is going away. They're going to bring in this digital system, and it's going to be fully implemented along with the micro C-HIP. Let me continue.
Bank of America.
We want a cashless society. It costs us $5 billion for checks and cash to move around our company.
You want a cashless society?
We are driving towards a faster, but we have more to gain than anybody in a sense from a pure operating cost. And so we're driving it. And the cost will come down and everything's happening. And the costs are already very low. It's very efficient, very little fraud when you actually look at the volumes going through.
So we hate cash. We want a cashless society. Bank of America CEO. And that's why this is all part of the World Economic Forum's plan. Klaus Schwab and their move to digital and digital IDs and digital infrastructure.
And you know they're going to go to implanted RFID devices. I mean, you know that. I mean, it's coming. And you know what you will do? You'll do it. You'll just do it. And I know people who will run to be the first on their block.
And those are the ones, they're either ignorant or they're weak. They don't have no faith. They don't know the Most High. They don't know the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. So therefore, like he said, they're going to run. They're going to run to get those RFID C-HIPs when they come out. See? And we already know the fate of those who takes it. The Lord's going to destroy you himself. So if the chief, Ephraim, if he think that's not it, he's welcome to go ahead and get in line. See? He's going to be right along with all them other ones. Coming up against the truth, coming up against what the MOTB truly is. These things are going to cost a lot of people. They going to pay on the highest level. See? Because the Lord, the prophecy says they're going to be burning in that lake of fire. And they're going to be tormented in that fire. All who take this thing. So that's the seriousness of this. Let me continue.
With the implanted...
And there's the prophecy. And the third angel, this is Revelation 14:9. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image and receive his mark, which is the RFID C-HIP, see, in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High, which is poured out without mixture into a cup of his indignation, his righteous anger. It says, and he shall be tormented. See, he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb, who is Yahweh Shai. So this is a very, 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 very serious prophecy. And it's at the doors. It's at the doors. Continue. And there you have it. I got more videos, clips I can play, but hey, the point has been made. We know what it is. We know what it looks like. I might play one more video clip before I end this. But from here, let's get into some scriptures. Let's start out here in the book of Amos. Because, hey, the Lord, he set up prophets, true prophets that has the truth and has the true understanding of the breakdowns and the prophecies. This is the book of Amos, chapter 3 and verse 7. It says, surely the Lord power will do nothing, but he revealeth his secret unto his servants, the prophets. The secrets are the prophecies. The Lord has given it to his servants, the prophets. See? And this guy, like I said, he's basically coming up against GMS, a great millstone, apostles and the elders on down, and other like-minded men. It's a straight attack. But hey, he doesn't understand he's coming up against the truth. He's coming up against the will of the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. And the Lord, hey, he will destroy all these false prophets. See? Because we know what it is. And he didn't set up our apostles and elders to have all of this breakdowns and all this understanding and deep knowledge of the scriptures and basically understand who we are and breaking down Deuteronomy chapter 28, all of these different things that the Lord, all of these different secrets that have been revealed from our leaders on down. Now, all of a sudden, they don't know what the RFID, they don't know the MOTB. They don't know it's the RFID CHIP. All of a sudden, everything else has been broken down and revealed, but that part of the MOTB has not been revealed. That doesn't make any sense. As the scripture I just read, surely the Lord power will do nothing, but he revealeth his secrets unto his servants, the prophets. And that's just the bottom line. There's false prophets and there are true prophets. The true prophets are going to have breakdowns and understanding, and the false prophets are basically set up to lead people astray. The ones that the Lord doesn't want. As a matter of fact, let's go here in the book of Job, chapter 12, in verse 16. It says, with him is strength and wisdom. The deceived and the deceiver are his. So the Lord, he set up the deceiver to deceive the ones that are supposed to be deceived. And both of them, see, both of them are going to be destroyed. So if you following somebody who's teaching false doctrines, and you believe in it, you being deceived by those false doctrines and those lies, then you set up to be destroyed. That's just the bottom line. You won't get the elect. The elect is not going for it. Now from there, let's get this. Because ultimately, this thing comes down to belief. Belief. Faith. This is, and in the right thing, of course. This is Romans chapter 3 and verse 3. It says, for what if some did not believe? Shall their unbelief make the faith of the Most High without effect? So what if he don't believe? So what if he didn't even state what he believed? Or maybe he did, but he definitely doesn't believe, this Chief Ephraim, he doesn't believe that the MOTB is the RFID CHIP. He's coming up against the straight truth that's been broke down over and over and over. And Lord's will, I want to get into that. See? This thing has been broke down through the spirit and power of the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. Verse 4, Romans 3 and 4, it says, the Most High forbid. Yea, let the Most High be true and every man a liar, as it is written, that thou mightest be justified in thy sayings and mightest overcome when thou art judged. So it doesn't matter whether you believe or not. It's all according to the will of the Lord Yahweh Bashem Shai. See, if you don't believe that the MOTB is the RFID CHIP, then hey, that's what the Lord set you up to do, basically to be deceived or not believe, to be set up to basically take it, because ultimately you weren't of that number, you weren't of the elect. So that's what it's coming down to. Now from there, let's get this. In the book of Revelation, this is the book of Revelation, chapter 19 and verse 10, because it's all about the prophecies. It's all about the prophecies. And hey, you got men out here teaching, they just don't understand the prophecies. They don't have it. The chief don't have it. See? This is the book of Revelation, chapter 19 and verse 10. It says, and I fell at his feet to worship him, and he said unto me, see thou do it not. This is the apostle John. He was right in front of an angel. He seen an angel, and he tried to worship him, and the angel said, don't do that. He said, I am thy fellow servant and of thy brethren that have the testimony of Yahweh Shai. Worship the Most High. For the testimony of Yahweh Shai is the spirit of prophecy. And either you have it or you don't, as men out here teaching. See, because the Lord, he has false prophets that he's set up, that he's going to destroy, and he has true prophets that's going to lead the elect, the hopeful elect. They're going to hear the truth. They're going to hear the scriptures and the prophecies being broke down correctly, and they're going to believe. And that's just the bottom line. Now from there, let's get this. In the book of Revelation, he was saying, hey, who gonna lead this thing? Who's gonna implement it? This is Revelation chapter 13 and verse 11. And I just brought this out in a recent lesson. This is Revelation chapter 13 and verse 11. It says, and I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had two horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon. See, this is talking about the Democrats and the Republicans. The same system that they had in ancient Rome with the plebeians and the patricians. Now they have the Democrats and the Republicans. That's how you know the beast is talking about Babylon the Great, aka America. See, that's where this thing gonna start at. Now from there, let's get this in Revelation chapter 13 and verse 15. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 13 and verse 15. It says, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast. It says, and that the image of the beast should both speak and cause as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. And that's what we've been saying. This thing is deadly serious. See, some of us will become martyrs for the testimony of Yahweh Shai, refusing to take that thing. See, and becoming a martyr. And those of who die in this thing, who was a believer, who was the elect, as the scriptures say, they're going to be risen first. They're going to be the first ones on the chariot. See, they're going to already have that new body. They already going to have the new covenant. They're going to be perfect. They're going to be on that chariot. See, first. And as the scriptures say, those in the remain that are alive already on the earth, they're going to be beamed up second. But ultimately, if you're the elect, you're going to be on that chariot. You're going to be on that huge chariot, looking down, watching this place burn from the destruction of the World War III, from the nuclear missiles, see, and the lasers coming off the chariots. So this is where we at. We at the end of this thing now. Things are moving fast. Verse 16, and it says, he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond. That's how you know that he is. Starting with the wicked elites. See, these people who set up running this place, Babylon the Great, they the puppets. The wicked elites are behind the scenes. But over all of this is the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. As we always say, this is his movie. He's running this thing. See, we all just playing our roles. And there's nothing we can do to change that. The Lord has already spoken. It says, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark. And that word mark is charagma. And when you break that word down and you go into the root words, it goes into the delivery device. See, it goes into the device itself, how it's going to be put in under the skin, how it's going to be put inside you. See, and also how it's going to have the data of that person. As soon as it's scanned, they're going to know who you are and everything about you. See? To receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. And this technology is already here. They got brain RFID hips. They got the ones you put in your head, ones you put on your hand. And people are literally using these things as we speak. This thing is already been implemented. It's being tested. It's already out here. This digital system has been tested. Everything is set up. You got terminals everywhere. And you got guys like Chief Ephraim trying to throw people off. But the whole thing is right here, right in front of your face. Verse 17, and that no man might buy or sell, see, save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. And that's what it's coming down to. The ones who are of the elect, they're not going to take it. See, they're going to believe and trust in the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. The Lord said he will provide. He's going to make sure we eat, make sure we drink, make sure we're good. The Lord is controlling everything. And the ones who are of the elect, they're not going to take it. They're going to have faith. And the Lord they're going to be in good hands. They're going to be in the best hands with the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. See? And that's where our hope is, and that's who we believe in. We believe in the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. We're trusting in him in that time that we're going to be good. While everybody else who've been basically following false doctrines or basically ignorant, don't even know what's going on, they're going to be in that C-hip line getting C-hipped up. And then at the end, they're going to be destroyed. And even then, they're going to be tracking you. They're going to be controlling what you can buy, when you can buy, how much you can buy. See, you're going to be controlled anyway you go. So it's best to believe in the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. And that's what we keep driving home. We keep going to continue to push this prophecy. And it's at the doors. It's getting ready to come out. Now from there, let's get this in Revelation. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 20 and verse 4. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 20 and verse 4. It says, and I saw thrones, and they that sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them. And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Yahushua and for the word of the Most High. See, this is how serious this thing is. These are the ones that are of the elect that didn't take it. See? In which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither had received his mark upon their foreheads or in their hands. And they lived and reigned with Hamashiach 1,000 years, the first 1,000 years in the kingdom. See? And that's what's going to happen. This is all prophecy. This is going to play out. Certain amount of us will be beheaded for the testimony of Yahushua. And that's just the bottom line. So this prophecy is real serious. See, no time for games, no time for playing around. When this thing comes out, it's going to be deadly serious. And if you don't know what it is, or you're not sure what it is, or you don't know what the hell going on, you're going to take it and be destroyed. Now from there, let's close out here. Matter of fact, let me see if I had one more video before I close out. Let me see. I played that one. Yeah, let's play this video right here. This is a video basically showing that RFID hip being put in someone. It can't get no plainer than this. Here we go. Boom, there it is. That's that delivery device. The technology is here.
Sentez que la crème a fait un peu effet quand même. C'est fini. Non. Okay. Ça va être rapide, hein, la place, il y a juste à le mettre, pas toucher.
Watch this. Boom, there it is. You see that? This is what these devils is planning. This is what they want to do. And the Lord, hey, this is prophecy. It's got to come out. They're going to do it. And for all you out there, hey, either you're going to believe and trust in the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, and be delivered, or you're going to go for these false prophets and teachers out here, teaching all of these different lies and false doctrines and be destroyed. Now let's close out here in the book of Revelation, chapter 3, and verse 10. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 3 and verse 10. It says, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I will also keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. And we always go into this. The hour of temptation is talking about when the RFID hip comes out and become made mandatory. As a matter of fact, I want to go into that real quick. I want to get the word temptation. Let's get that. Here we go.
Strong's G 3986, Pyrosmas. Pyrosmas.
It says temptation. It says temptations, an experiment, attempt, a trial, approving. See, that's how you know this is talking about that ultimate test of when the MOTB comes out. It says experience, solicitation, discipline. Now from there, I want to go into this next root word.
Strong's G 3985, Pyrazzo. Pyrazzo.
It says tempter, prove, see, examine, try whether a thing can be done, an attempt. This is all talking about that test, which is about to come out in the form of the RFID hip. See? Scrutinize, entice, discipline. Now from there, let's get this final root word.
Strong's G 3984, Pyra. Pyra.
Pyra. It says a trial, an experience, attempt, to attempt a thing, to make a trial, a thing, a person, having a trial, a thing. This is definitely that big test that's about to come. It says through the idea of piercing. And how they going to get that thing in you? Through the idea of piercing. So this is talking about the time when that RFID chip comes out and become made mandatory. And it's going to be a very, very serious time. And we're very, very close. You see the wars heating up. You see everything is going very, very hot, very, very fast. And this thing can come out any day now. So it's no time to be playing games. It's no time to be listening to all of these different people teaching all of these different breakdowns and understanding. Either you have the understanding that it's the RFID chip or you don't. And that's the bottom line. The ones that are going to take it is already set up. They're already set to take it. But the ones who are not, they are not going to take it. They were chosen before the foundation of the world to receive salvation. The elect. Now going back, Revelation chapter 10, chapter 3 and verse 10, it says, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I will also keep thee from the hour of temptation. See, the time when the RFID chip will be coming out real soon now and become made mandatory, which shall come upon all the world. It shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. It's going to be a big, huge test. And the chief Ephraim was saying, basically, he don't see how these different nations and different countries are going to all be working together. Well, we already have a prime example of when they came out with the juice. When they came out with the juice, it was booming here in Babylon the Great and all over the entire world. That includes Russia. That includes China. Everywhere in the world, they had the juice being put out. And people were lining up getting it. See? Did they work together then? As if it's impossible for all of these different nations and countries in the world to come together and have a system to where everybody they want to have to get their RFID chip. It's plain. And the proof has already happened when that C9 came out. It's already happened. Now let's read this and close out. Revelation chapter 3 and verse 11. It says, behold, I come quickly. Hold that fast which thou hast, that no man take that crown. So if you have this truth and this understanding, hold on, hold fast. Don't let nobody throw you off the path, teaching all these false doctrines, trying to get you to believe that it's something other than what it is, that the MOTB is not the RFID chip. See? Ultimately, they were set up to only get the ones that the Lord didn't want. The deceived and the deceiver are his. But if you're the elect, you're not going to take this thing. And you're going to be ultimately delivered. And with that, I hope that you were edified by this lesson. This has been Chief Ephraim. It is the micro chip. I want to give all praise, all honor, and all glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Makakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops of Great Millstone. Peace, blessings, and salutation to the hopeful elect. Shalom.